1 Samuel 30. And it came to be, when Daud and his men came to Tsiklag on the 3rd day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Tsiklag, and smote Tsiklag, and burned it with fire. And they took captive the women and those who were there, from small to great. They did not kill anyone, but they led them away and went their way. And Daud and his men came to the city, and saw it burned with fire, and their wives, and their sons, and their daughters had been taken captive. And Daud and the people who were with him lifted up their voices and wept, until they had no more power to weep. And Daud's 2 wives, Achinoam, the Yisraelitess, and Abigail, the widow of Nabal the Carmelite, had been taken captive. And Daud was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of stoning him, because the being of all the people was grieved, each for his sons and his daughters. But Daud strengthened himself in Yahuah, his Elohim. And Daud said to Abiathar the priest, son of Achimelech, please bring the shoulder garment here to me. So Abiathar brought the shoulder garment, and Daud inquired of Yahuah, saying, do I pursue this band? Do I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for you shall certainly overtake them, and certainly rescue. So Daud went, he and the 600 men who were with him, and came to the Wadi Besor, where a halt was made by those who were left behind. While Daud pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 halted, who were too faint to pass over the Wadi Besor. And they found a man in the field, a Mitzrite, and took him to Daud. And they gave him bread, and he ate, and they let him drink water, and gave him a piece of a cake of figs, and 2 clusters of raisins. And when he had eaten, his strength came back to him, for he had not eaten bread, nor drunk water, for 3 yomim and 3 leilas. And Daud said to him, to whom do you belong, and where are you from? And he said, I am a young man from Mitzrim, servant of an Amalekite, and my Aduni left me behind, for I had been sick 3 yomim. We attacked the south of the Kerethites, and against that which belongs to Yehudah, and upon the south of Caleb, and we burned Tsiklag with fire. And Daud said to him, could you bring me down to this marauding band? And he said, swear to me by Elohim that you neither kill me nor surrender me into the hands of my Aduni, then I bring you down to this marauding band. And he brought him down, and saw they were spread out over all the land, eating and drinking and dancing, because of all the great spoil which they had taken from the land of the Philistine, and from the land of Yehudah. And Daud smote them from twilight until the evening of the next Yom. And none of them escaped, except 400 young men, who rode on camels and fled. And Daud rescued all that the Amalekites had taken. Daud also rescued his 2 wives, and there was none missing to them, whether small or great, whether sons or daughters, or spoil, or whatever they had taken from them. Daud recovered all. Besides, Daud captured all the flocks and herds they had driven before those livestock, and they said, this is Daud's spoil. And Daud came to the 200 men who were too faint to follow Daud, who had also been left at the Wadi Besor. And they went out to meet Daud, and to meet the people who were with him. And when Daud came near the people, he greeted them. And all the evil and worthless men of those who went with Daud answered, and said, because they did not go with us, we do not give them any of the spoil that we have rescued, except for every man's asha and children, and let them take them and go. But Daud said, my brothers, do not do so with what Yahuah has given us, who has protected us, and gave into our hand the band that came against us. And who would listen to you in this matter? For as his portion is who goes down to the battle, so is his portion who remains with the baggage. They share alike. And it came to be, from that Yom forward, he appointed it for a law and a lawfulness for Yisharel to this Yom. And when Daud came to Ziklag, he sent some of the spoil to the elders of Yehudah, to his friends, saying, "Here is a present for you from the spoil of the enemies of Yahuah, to those in Beital, and to those in Ramoth of the south, and to those in Yatir, and to those in Aroer, and to those in Siphmoth, and to those in Eshtemoa, and to those in Rakal, and to those in the cities of the Yerachmeelites, and to those in the cities of the Kenites, and to those in Korma, and to those in Korashan, and to those in Athak, and to those in Kebron, and to all the places where Daud had gone up and down, he and his men.